Welcome to Caregiver Counsel, Elder Law Insights with Tieesha Taylor.
Welcome back to Caregiver Counsel, Elder Law Insights with Tieesha Taylor. I am Tieesha Taylor, founder and CEO of Elderly Care Law Firm in South Florida, where we provide compassionate generational legal services to families who are navigating Medicaid, guardianships, probate, and long-term care. Joining me today is Lisa Shuster, a real estate professional with Keller Williams Realty, who has over 20 years of experience helping families buy, sell, and transition homes across South Florida. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you.
Lisa's background is she's a senior real estate specialist and a seller representative specialist. And today we're talking about selling an aging parent's home and what families should understand before making that decision. So let me just get to it. The first question, Lisa, is what tends to make the decision to sell a parent's home especially difficult for families?
Well, Taisha, thank you for having me. It's
Pleasure.
rarely just a real estate decision, honestly. It's a very emotional decision. The home represents a lifetime of collections, memories, independence. There's so many things. It's a sense of identity a lot of times for the parents. So for the children as well. So there can be guilt, there can be, a lot of retrospective thinking, a lot of different things. And it's the fear of making the wrong decision, which really is the heart of what's happening. So um the decision is not light, but it's one that must be thought out and one that you know road mapped out.
Now, what situations tend to push families towards selling a parent's home during a care transition?
Well, usually it boils down to safety of the mom or the dad. And it's typically a shift in care or needs, and that's typically what tends to push them. So whether they're going to go into assisted living, memory care, they need full-time in-house support, financial considerations also play a big role in that as well.
I could definitely see that. And how do families decide whether staying in the home is still realistic or if a transition needs to happen?
Typically, it's due to safety, and the mental state of the parent. If there's a parent with dementia, it no longer becomes safe for them to be there. Mobility is an issue. If the house can't be modified to accommodate the mobility issues of the parent, or I just had this yesterday, they left an aging parent in the home, and I pulled up and the parent just pulled into the parking lot, and the parent wasn't supposed to be driving. So it's a safety issue as well. So that's usually where it becomes real for them.
Yeah. And when you're talking about safety, I know it's not easy sometimes for children to, have that discussion with their parents, especially with the home that the parent has been living in for years and maybe have raised their children in the home. But what are some of the biggest challenges that come up once the decision to sell is made?
Well, it's often times logistical, and it's also emotional. So the challenges are the patient or the parent. A lot of times there's so many memories there. It's an emotional consideration. Then you have all the belongings that they have for decades of things, the attic, stuff that they saved. So,
Mhm.
and navigating different opinions, because this one might want to come and live in the house and stay and send, the elder parent off to a nursing home. And this one may say, no, we want to sell it and we want to take the money and use that for the nursing home. So those are challenges, that come
Right.
about quite often.
Now, have you seen situations where families waited too long to sell and it created additional stress or complications?
Yeah, I just had that actually. They put off going to putting mom in a facility, and not only did deferred maintenance happen, and that typically a lot of times happens with a home, deferred maintenance, but the house, there was so much stuff in the house, and with the dementia worsening and the collection of stuff, that rodents ended up in the house. So,
Oh,
and
wow.
then the air conditioning leaked, and it started mold. So deferred maintenance, deferred pest control. There's so many things that can happen. And then it becomes overwhelming for the family at that point, because now not only are they faced with downsizing and the emotional component, now they're faced with repairs too. So that's not a good situation to be in. You got to get that, right in the front of it. So
Yeah. Well, how can families prepare a home for sale, especially when a parent is still living there? I'm sure that's not easy. So, how do families prepare for a home to sell
well,
if they're
we
parents?
we do everything from A to Z. We help them get the house prepared to sell. First of all, it's obviously looking at the furniture and things, and I'm a certified home stager as well. So we want to look at the furniture and ask if it's going to help to facilitate the sale, or it's going to help blockade the sale, or they're going to lose money because the house looks outdated because of the furniture. Then we have to look at the things that are in the home. Let's downsize. It does the bedroom that Mikey lived in his whole life and moved out and was kept that way. Is there a lot of stuff in that bedroom and it's stuffed to the gills? You can't see the closet. It makes the home look small. So it's a lot of staging, a lot of just sorting through the stuff, maybe having different garage. So we do have a whole team that can help to downsize the home, but it's just getting the house prepared for those things. And that's very important, but it can be a daunting task, but we make it easy. We go in and tell them, hey, move this, don't move that. This, nobody cares about the garage, just stuff it all in the garage. And but they care about the kitchen. So just putting our professional eyes on it, my home staging hat, so I can help them navigate through that and figure out what's important and what's not.
Now, you touched on this briefly, but how do you help families move forward when there are multiple decision makers? So maybe two children, more than one child is making a decision. So, how do you navigate that, especially if they're not on the same page?
That's always a difficult situation. But I think in that situation, everybody just wants to be heard. They want to say what they want to happen. So it's about finding out the different opinions and then bringing it together so they're all in one accord, because at the end of the day, the decision is theirs, but the decision has to be made for the best, in the best interest of the elderly parent. That's what the focus and the goal has to be. And sometimes they just need to be brought back to that reality, because they get so wrapped up in, who's getting the china that was grandma's, or, there's so many tangible things that they get fixated and focused on, when we have to reel it back in, like reel it back in to what's the
Mhm.
real focus here. The real focus is mom or dad and what we're going to do for them and how we're going to
Right.
make it less stressful. People are fighting over stuff, it becomes stressful, you know?
Yeah, that's absolutely. Well, we live in Florida where a lot of people want to move here, people want to age here, there's sunshine. But many adult children live out of town and are suddenly responsible for a parent's property from a distance. What should those families be thinking about first?
Well, I think if they have the conversation well in advance, it's really best to have that conversation, because the best plans are when you have a plan. But to be on the no plan and all of a sudden you're faced with, oh my gosh, mom fell 3 times. What are we going to do? And now it becomes a fire drill. I think having those conversations up front are going to minimize and help to soften the decisions that need made. You have a plan in place. If this happens, then this happens. If this happens, we can pivot to here. So it's having a plan in place. When they're out of state, it makes it harder, especially when they're going to come and go through the stuff. So we can help with all of that. I have a team of professional vendors. They can come in, they can downsize, they actually enjoy it. They can do a garage sale, they can do an estate sale. So there's so many things that we can do to help minimize the stress of that, because it is very overwhelming. So minimizing stress and making it very simple and easy. It's, hey, Lisa's got this. I like to say, don't worry, I got it. So
Okay. Right. All right, great. Now, before we wrap up, is there anything else families going through this situation should know that could make this process a little easier for them?
yeah, I mean, it's great to have you on board. They have an elder care plan. It's great to have a situation where you have a plan and, they could call me. I can walk them through it. I can answer any questions. I can help them navigate those waters because, again, it's a stressful time. I mean, I had it happen to me. It's not fun, and then you don't know, nursing home, independent living, assisted living. You got the memory care situation going on. It's a lot to put on your plate of an already you're already trying to navigate your own family. So I think the biggest thing I can say is I'm here to, as a professional, I've done this many years. I can just go into mode and I can just roll it out. We have a plan in place that's been extremely successful. Not one size fits all, but a lot of sizes fit, and then we customize it. We can just activate our plan and we can keep going forward. If they're out of state, we have people that can check on the property, make sure there's not a pipe leak, make sure that the, grass guy didn't skip them twice and ask for payment. So there's a lot that we do. We want to come alongside the families and help them to have a successful transition with less stress and just
Right.
make it happen for them so they can be happy. Mom's good, dad's good, everything's
Mhm.
good. We even have a company where if there's medical equipment, extra medical equipment, we can get the medical equipment donated. We have organizations that, let's say the garage is full of junk. We have a junk removal. We have every resource that you could possibly think of to come in and fix the house, get it decluttered, get it sorted, get it packed, get it sold, get it moved, get it cleaned out so we can have a successful sale.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, if someone listening realizes they need help or just want more information, what is the best way to reach you?
They can reach me at my email or our website. Our website is sell, SELL, South Florida. So it's SOFLA.com. So we sell sofla.com, or they can email me at Shuster, my last name, SHUSTER, team at gmail.com. So,
Great. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Lisa. And thank you for providing that valuable information. I know our listeners are going to really enjoy getting that information and hopefully they'll reach out for more if they need your assistance. So thank you.
well, thank you for helping me. And we always enjoy helping families. So,
Well, thanks for listening to Caregiver Counsel, Elder Law Insights. If you're facing questions about long term care, Medicaid, guardianship, probate, or protecting an aging loved one, you can connect with my team at elderlycarelawfirm.com. And to learn more about Lisa Shuster and her work helping families navigate real estate transitions, you can visit, as she stated, WeSellSOFLA.com. And if you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might need it. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
bye now.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.